Vishnu. Vishnu is one of the most important gods in the Hindu pantheon and along with Brahma and Shiva is considered a member of the Holy Trinity of Hinduism. He is the most important god of Vaishnavism, the largest Hindu sect. Indeed, to illustrate Vishnu's superior status, Brahma is in some accounts considered to have been born from a lotus flower which grew from Vishnu's navel. A complex character, Vishnu is the preserver and guardian of man. He protects the order of things, and when necessary, he appears on earth in various incarnations or avatars to fight demons and fierce creatures and so maintain cosmic harmony. Vishnu was married to Lakshmi, Saraswati, and Ganga. However, unable to live with the quarrels between his three wives, Vishnu eventually sent Ganga to Shiva and Saraswati to Brahma. In some accounts, another wife of Vishnu's is Bhumi Devi. He is considered to live in the city of Vaikuntha on Mount Meru, where everything is made of shining gold and fabulous jewels, and where there are lakes resplendent with lotus flowers. The avatar of Vishnu. Vishnu has 10 avatars or worldly appearance which are people, animal or a mix of both. Number 1. Matsya. Matsya is said to be the avatar that rescued the first man from a great flood as well as the other creatures of the earth. Matsya is sometimes depicted as a great fish or sometimes as a human torso connected to the tail of a fish. Matsya is said to have forewarned man about the coming flood and offered him to preserve all the grains and living creatures in a boat. This story is similar to many deluge myths found in other cultures. Number 2. Kurma. Kurma is the tortoise incarnation that relates to the myths of churning the oceans to obtain treasures dissolved in the oceans of milk. In this myth, Vishnu took the form of a tortoise upon which to support the churning stick on his back. The Kurma avatar of Vishnu is usually seen in a mixture human-animal form. Number 3. Varaha. Varaha is the boar that raised the earth from the bottoms of the sea after the demon Hiranyaksha dragged it to the bottom of the sea. After a battle of 1,000 years, Varaha raised the earth out of the water with his tusks. Number 4. Narsimha. As the legend goes, the demon Hiranyakasipu obtained a boon from Brahma that he could not be killed or harmed by any means. Now arrogant in his security, Hiranyakasipu began to cause trouble both in heaven and on earth. However, his son Prahlad was devoted to Vishnu. And one day, when the demon challenged Prahlada, Vishnu emerged in the form of a man lion to slay the demon. Number 5. Vamana. In the Rig Veda, Vamana appears when the demon King Bali rules the universe and the gods lost their power. One day Vamana visited the court of Bali and begged for much land as he could cover in 3 steps. Laughing at the dwarf, Bali granted the wish, upon which the dwarf assumed the form of a giant and took the whole earth with the first step, and the entire mid-world with the second step. With the third step, Vamana sent Bali down to rule the underworld. Number 6. Parshurama. In his form as Parshurama, Vishnu appears as a priest who comes to the world to kill bad kings and protect humanity from danger. He appears in the form of a man carrying an axe. In the original story, Parshurama appeared to restore Hindu social order being corrupted by the arrogant Kshatriya caste. Number 7. Rama. Rama is the seventh avatar of Vishnu and is a major deity of Hinduism. He is considered supreme in some traditions. He is the central figure of the ancient Hindu epic Ramayana. According to the Ramayana, Rama's father is King Dasrath and his mother is Queen Kaushalya. Rama was born at the end of the second age, sent by gods to do battle with the multi-headed demon Ravana. Number 8. Krishna. Lord Krishna is the eighth avatar of Vishnu and is one of the most widely revered deities in Hinduism. He is a cowherd who shrewdly changes rules. According to legend, the famous poem the Bhagavad Gita is spoken by Krishna to Arjuna on the battlefield. Number 9. Balrama. Balrama is the elder brother of Krishna and engaged in many adventures with his brother in representations. He is usually shown with pale skin in contrast to Krishna's blue skin. Balrama is rarely worshipped independently, but stories always focused on his prodigious strength. Number 10. Kalki. Kalki is the last incarnation of Vishnu, who is expected to appear at the end of Kali Yuga, the time period in which we currently exist. He will come, it is believed, to rid the world of oppressions by unrighteous rulers. It is said he will appear riding a white horse and carrying a fiery sword. More details from Vishnu's avatar. Like any major god, Vishnu is involved in a number of colorful stories which illustrate his virtues as the protector of cosmic order. As Varaha, the gigantic boar, he defeated the giant Daitya after Hiranyaksha had mischievously taken the earth to the bottom of the sea. The incredible fight between the two lasted for 1,000 years, but Vishnu prevailed and finally raised the earth from the watery depths, carrying it on his tusk. In the Bhagavad Purana, a collection of Vaishnavita stories, Vishnu is also credited with giving all the other gods the gift of immortality. The story goes that the gods wanted to churn up the ocean of milk in order to create the nectars, which gave its drinker eternal life. To mix the ocean, they decided to use the holy Mount Mandara with the giant serpent Vasuki as a turning rope, one end to be pulled by demons and the other by the gods. However, neither group could handle such a weight and they called for Vishnu to hold it. This he did in the forms of Kurma, the giant tortoise, supporting the mountain on his sail. The nectar was duly created from the foaming sea, but the demons, true to characters, tried to make off with it. Fortunately, Vishnu interceded in the form of the beautiful Maya and suitably distracted the demons, relinquished the nectar which Vishnu graciously gave to the gods, allowing them the possibility of immortality. Vishnu appeared as another avatar in the form of the fish Matsya. Manu, the sage and son of Vivasav's son, was washing in a river one day when a small fish suddenly jumped into in his hand. About to throw the fish back into the water, he was stopped by the pleadings of the fish, who was afraid of the monsters that might eat him. Manu therefore kept the fish in a small bowl, but overnight the fish grew bigger and so had to be moved into a jar. Still the fish kept growing and so Manu threw it into a lake. However, the fish continued to grow and reached such a prodigious size that Manu was obliged to put it into the sea. The fish then made a prophecy that 7 days there would be a great flood, but Manu was not to worry about this catastrophe as the fish would send him a large boat so that he might escape unharmed. The fish instructed Manu to fill the boat with a pair of all the creatures of the world and seeds of all the plants, and during the flood to tie his boat to the fish by using the giant snake Vasuki. After some time, just as the fish had predicted, the ocean slowly and relentlessly rose up and flooded the world. Vishnu then reappeared on the scene as the gigantic fish, this time with golden scales and a single horn, and carrying the promised ship for Manu. The sage promptly boarded with his vast collection of animal and straw. By surviving the flood, became the founder of the human race. The three previously mentioned avatars of Vishnu all appeared in the first creation stage of the Kalpa or worldly cycle, of which each breath of the god is one cycle. The next stage involved the battle with demons for the controls of the world. Here Vishnu appeared as both the hero Rama, who had many adventures fighting Rakshasas, and as the axe-wielding monk Parshurama, who fought the Kshatriya. One of the more famous episodes involving the god in this second phase of the world is the legend of the three steps. In the battle between gods and giants for control of the world, the latter were gaining the upper hand. However, Vishnu was persuaded by the gods to interrupt his meditations and confront the giant warrior Bali, which he did in the form of a dwarf Brahman called Vamana. Vishnu offered a compromise. If the fighting stopped, the gods would settle for a small territory covered by three of Vamana's steps, and the giants could have the rest of the universe. Looking at the tiny legs of the dwarf, this seemed a good bargain, and so Bali agreed. The dwarf was really, of course, a great god, though, and with his first step he cleared the sky, with the second the earth, and with his final step the underworld, thus leaving nothing for the poor giant. For this reason, Vishnu is often also called Trivikrama, meaning of the three steps. The story may also represent the three movements of the sunrise, zenith, and setting. Certainly, Vishnu was associated with the sun, as one of his other names suggests, Surya Narayana. As a warning to unbelievers, Vishnu appeared as a man lion, Narsimha, when Hiranyakasipu not only impiously called for a people to worship him as a god, but also foolishly challenged Vishnu to show himself there and then, if the god really were omnipresent. Lo and behold, Vishnu immediately left from a nearby column and, in the forms of a ferocious lion, ripped the unbeliever to pieces with his claws and made a fearsome necklace of his entrails. Compelling evidence indeed of the dangers of impiety. In the third phase of the Kalpa, Vishnu appeared as Buddha and Krishna, both important figures in their own right. Krishna, or the Black Prince, was reared in the forest by cowherds after his mother Devaki feared for the safety of her eighth child after his uncle Kans had received a prophecy that he would be killed by his eighth nephew. Brought up by the shepherd Nand and his wife, the young Krishna already displayed his divine capability by performing prodigious feats of strength, and he also killed many demons and monsters. He was perhaps unsurprisingly also greatly admired by the ladies of the forest. However, this idyllic existence came to be abrupt, and when his mother cursed her son for not having intervened in the great battle between the warring family of the Kurus and Pandus. Consequently, while peacefully meditating one day, he was struck by a wayward arrow from a hapless hunter, and alas, the arrow hit his one weak spot, his heel. It was said that to mark such a sad end to such a popular figure, even the sun itself died with him.